Here we go! So after doing my top 10 Nintendo DS games a couple weeks ago, I actually started playing Mario Kart DS all over again because it is such a good game. I love the character selection, I love the controls, I love the fact that you can snake your way to victory. Yes, I am actually a fan of snaking in Mario Kart DS, don't at me, Snake Gang represent. But one of the things that is truly cool about Mario Kart DS is the track selection. 32 tracks can be chosen, with 16 brand new ones and 16 classic ones from the past. Today, I decided to take a look at the 16 brand new tracks this game introduced and tell you all about my 10 favorites. Hey, I'm Nico, and here's my top 10 Mario Kart DS tracks. Here we go. Beach tracks have existed in Mario Kart games since the very first one, but few beaches are as fun as Cheep Beach from Mario Kart DS. The track in itself is pretty simple, starting you on some docks, forcing you to explore the beach, to then go through a forest to complete a lap. But the main thing that I like about this stage is the fact that the water level changes during the track. Sometimes you'll have to go around the water on the beach itself, and other times you'll be able to move closer to the edges, meaning a shorter and faster lap, which is pretty helpful to finish in first place. To be fair though, there is one thing that truly doesn't make any sense about this track, and it is its name, Cheep Beach. Really? I saw like 1 or 2 Cheeps and they were flopping around like idiots, almost as if they were dying. There are more of those sidestepper crab enemies than there are Cheeps, and that's pretty cheap. Get it? Okay, bye. If some of you still wonder why I'm playing Mario games without touching a single coin, it's because Mario is rich enough with everything Princess Peach owns. Did you know that she had her very own private garden that can be used as a racetrack? Well, now you know, because Peach Gardens is the next track on this list. To be honest, it is a pretty cool looking track, where you'll have to navigate through all the bushes, fountains and flowers that are in Peach's garden. There's even a maze section near the end that is full of hungry chain chomps ready to eat you, which might not be safe for the poor toads that have to water the plants. But hey, this is not a Peach is not a hero video, so let's move on. Sadly for Peach, her garden contains evil Monty moles that dig holes in the ground pathways leading back to the castle, so she might have to call an exterminator for that. Wario and his bro Waluigi have a history of building stadiums, and Mario Kart DS is no exception. Wario Stadium is a pretty cool one this time around, featuring lots of jumps, obviously, but this time it is filled with rings of floating fireballs, making your jumps way more epic. I mean, if you go through them, woohoo! If you touch the fireballs, ouchies. There's a lot of mud that you'll have to dodge to make your way to the end, but there is always a boost panel to help you get through it. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pretty simple stage and doesn't feature that many crazy things along the way, but it is so simple that it becomes super fun. You know how the Excite Bike track is really cool in Mario Kart 8 because of the jumps? Well, this is the exact same thing for Wario Stadium in Mario Kart DS. I come from Canada, so I am familiar with cold weather and snow, which might explain why I kinda like DK Pass. This level makes you climb a mountain to then go down afterwards, which seems to be a recurring theme with DK tracks now that I think about it. This one starts off with a tunnel that leads to very narrow and sharp turns that you have to make to go up the mountain. Watch out for the deadly snowballs along the way too. Once you're at the top, well, there's not gonna be any roads left for you to go down, so you'll actually have to do it the epic gamer way, down in the snow. There's gonna be lots of jumps on your descent and more snowballs to dodge, but everything's gonna be alright if you pay attention to your surroundings. The last challenge before the end will be those evil snow people that are just waiting to get crashed into and slow you down. Like, seriously, what kind of mad lad would build snow people down this mountain full of moving cars? That is so unsafe. Let's be real here, Mario Kart wouldn't be Mario Kart without a good old Rainbow Road track as the final one. And the Mario Kart DS's Rainbow Road is really cool. It features lots of twisted paths and even a complete loop defying the laws of gravity. This version of Rainbow Road doesn't have many fences to prevent you from falling down to your doom, so you'll have to master the art of drifting if you expect to finish in first place. This track is just so beautiful, containing many star ornaments floating in midair, as well as star arches along the way to guide you through this path. If you're thinking about taking this track slow, well, forget about that, as Rainbow Road is filled with boost panels pretty much everywhere. Oh, and there's even a corkscrew right at the end if you weren't starting to feel a little bit sick from the loop. Seriously though, this is one of the greatest Rainbow Road track that exists in this series. One of the weirdest stages in Super Mario 64 definitely was Tock Clock, as it takes place in a clock? Huh? But you know what? Creating a whole track based on this one level was a pretty ingenious idea that Nintendo had in Mario Kart DS. This stage is exactly what you expect from it. It's you driving inside of a giant clock, which means there are gonna be tons of pendulums, moving gears and cogs, and clock hands trying to push you off the track if you're not being careful. Thankfully, this track is very wide, and often you'll get the chance to go left or right on the many clocks to avoid banana peels and other hazards. There's not a lot of walls or fences to prevent you from falling down, which is a little bit dangerous, but if you're just being careful and paying attention, you'll beat this one without a problem. And without a coin. I sometimes wonder how Bowser builds all of his castles, because he has had so many through the years that he started building castles just for kart racing. Yeah, when you're rich, well, that's what you do. Mario Kart DS's version of Bowser's castle is really cool, starting off with you entering the castle through a giant statue of Bowser himself, to then move along the sides to go to the second floors. Once you're there, you'll be able to either go through this door along the way, or be an epic gamer and dodge the flames and take the shortcut over there. After that, you'll be going up again by drifting in the spiral tower to then be on top of the castle itself. This is where you'll be racing on a spinning pillar, which could prove to be dangerous if you're not careful. Thankfully, falling from that pillar just gets you to Bowser's Gardens down below, so you won't actually fall in the lava, but you will still lose precious seconds that could cost you the victory. All memes aside though, this track is very solid with multiple paths and rewards for actually being good at the game and going for the dangerous shortcuts, so I like that. Did you ever wonder what Luigi did with all of the money he collected after defeating King Boo? Well, wonder no more, as Luigis Mansion will answer all of your questions. Luigi just decided to build roads around his new mansion to create one of the best racetracks ever. This level starts off with you entering the mansion and going down in the basement. There's gonna be some sharp turns, so you'll have to be very careful. After that, you'll be going outside through the big garage door, and this is where the fun begins. This path is super wide and features lots of mud to slide on, so you'll need to be careful. Plus, it seems like Luigi might have forgotten to defeat a couple ghosts, as some of the trees outside love to move left and right to try to get you to bump into them. Thankfully, you can avoid most of those by just paying attention to your surroundings, meaning they won't be much of a problem. Super Mario Bros. 3 had a whole different take on the boss stages, leaving the classic castles of Mario 1 behind and replacing them with flying airships full of cannonballs and other hazards. Well, what if one of those airships became a racetrack? Well, you'd get the Airship Fortress, which is exactly what we're talking about now. This track starts with you having to dodge some evil bullet bills coming your way to get to the airship. Once you're on the deck floor, watch out for the many Rocky Wrenches enemies that love to pop out of the floor to trick you. Going down inside of the airship will lead you to a very hot section featuring 2 moving fire torches, which is a little bit scary, not gonna lie. Finally, you'd want to leave the airship via its big cannon that will shoot you back into the castle over there, and you'll be ready to start all over until you finish the track. It is really an adventure, and I really like this track because of that. Airship Fortress is one of those stages that I'd like to see being remade and reworked in glorious HD in a future Mario Kart installment. Now, what is my number one pick? Is it a Mario Circuit? Is it a Luigi Circuit? Is it a Daisy? Just kidding. No, not at all. It is none other than Waluigi Pinball. Who would have thought that Waluigi was actually the best at making cool and epic tracks? Instead of just making a stadium like his bro Wario, he decided instead to create an entire pinball machine. This track starts off with you getting shot to the top of the world in this shiny moving tunnel, and then you'll be moving down the rail path alongside actual pinball balls, only to be shot on the pinball machine itself with all of the bouncy bumpers and flippers near the end of the stage. Now this is how you make a fun and original track. Seriously, this is what Mario Kart should be all about. Goofy, insane, out-of-this-world tracks that only a game like this can make you experience. Waluigi Pinball deserves a remaster in full glorious HD as soon as possible, and the next Mario Kart game cannot forget to update this masterpiece of a track. Thanks a lot for watching this video, my dudes. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and to hit the bell to know when I post a new video. Give it a like to support me, and if you want your name in the credits like those amazing Team BBQ members, well, join Team BBQ, best team in the world, by clicking the big join button or the link in the description down below. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.